What's up, West Pittston? This is Summer and Kendra back with another video to tell you what we think you need to know. Yeah. And first up is in the news. Someday we'll come up with some fancy like graphic and sound clip.
Yeah, I'll go to video editing school one day and then we'll be fancy. All right, so I have 3 things in the news. The first one is, I don't know if anyone uses Spotify, which I use a lot for music. They now have audiobooks on there.
Oh.
So it's similar to Audible, Amazon's audiobook system. You still have to pay for the item. It's not free. But then you own it. You can download it, listen to it offline. So it's very similar to Audible. They're trying to compete with Audible directly.
But you get their music for free, right?
Yes, you get some for free. And like there's premium parts or whatever. But yeah, so those you do have to buy. But it is, if you already use Spotify, you already have a premium membership. It's similar to Audible in that way. So they just rolled that out, I think, last week. I went in there. I mean, they're the really good narrators. That's one of the like perks that Audible had, is they have excellent narrators for their audiobooks. I really like them. But you know, you have to pay for it. So I just use the free ones in Cloud Library, which has a good amount of audiobooks that I use now.
I still don't understand the concept of having Prime, but then also having to have Kindle Unlimited, and then also having to have Audible. Like,
it's too many things going on. Well, I'm great. Obviously, I don't have any of that.
I have Prime, but it doesn't really get me much because
I do keep thinking about getting Kindle Unlimited.
I think my mom has that. She enjoys it.
Yeah, but I mean, I have 3 library cards to get ebooks through.
True.
So that's really my main thing.
Yes.
Number 2 is, it was just announced that Tom Hanks is writing his first fiction book. He wrote a nonfiction book called Uncommon Type, which I thought was a fiction book, but it's not. It's actually weirdly a nonfiction book about his collection of like 87 typewriters. So there's that. So his new book comes out May 2023. And it is called The Making of Another Motion Picture Masterpiece, which is it spans like 80 years, and it's all about making a blockbuster action hero superhero movie. So
over 80 years.
Yeah, I don't know what that entails. It was just announced, so there's no other like details that I have, but that's kind of cool. So it's his fiction debut, which is kind of always interesting. And then the other thing, which is an older piece of news, but I guess kind of still relevant, if you've never heard of Open Culture, it's a public domain resource that has books, courses, the MIT computer science classes, I believe, are on there, or Harvard, one of them. But they have lots of things. So it's openculture.com.org, maybe. Can't remember, but it came through my email that they have over 7,000 children's books that are free for you to read. It's easiest to read them on a computer because of the way that they're uploaded, they're scanned in. But 800 of them are available to read in a Kindle format. They're completely free. They're public domain books. Things like Jane Austen, Peter Pan, the entire collection of Oz books, which is more than just The Wizard of Oz. The Alice books, like Through the Looking Glass, Wonderland, Charles Darwin's books, Noam Chomsky, who is a still alive and writing author. But I think he automatically published his books to the public domain. Doesn't have what's it called? Copyright? Yeah, copyright on his books. But yeah, so it was just kind of cool things where it was like, when I was looking at Spotify, I was like, oh, look, here's another like ebook format. So like, knock on wood, if we ever had to close down again and you've read every single book in our ebook
available to you
selection, there's 8,000 other books that you could check out. So I read a couple of them, and it was just kind of, children's books weren't originally written for children. It wasn't until like the late 1800s that books for children specifically were written, that weren't religious or grammar, like, or a history book. So it's just interesting to see what those early children's books kind of felt. They did not feel like children's books like we read now, right? Like, they were much more serious, little heavier. But yeah, so it was just kind of interesting to read through them and see the illustrations, which some of those Victorian illustrations are terrifying.
They wouldn't pass in this library.
Oh my gosh. Just, I mean, if you ever like looked at like Victorian Halloween costumes, right? Like,
I am such a judge of covers. Like I am.
Well, I mean, they're all hand-done illustrations, so in that way, that's nice, but some of them are terrible, scary. But that's all I have for in the news. Ta-da! And now we go on to our new books.
New books.
So children's book segue. Summer has 2 new books this week.
Yes, I Am Me by Susan Verde. This is another installment in the series. We have I Am One, I Am Peace, authored by Peter Reynolds, which I love, who did the Dot and Ish and the museum you said you like. So look for that. And another Uni the Unicorn, Reindeer Helper.
A very, very popular book here.
Everybody likes Uni.
Yep. As far as new books, I got 2 new comics in Radiant Black. So this is issues 1 and 2. I think when I read them, I felt very Blue Beetle, Green Lantern-y about them. So I did like that. I picked up the next 2 issues today at the comic book store. So those will be here soon. We have John Sanford. This book comes out on the 4th. So next week, next Tuesday, it'll be on the shelves. That's right. This book, Kate Atkinson, this one's available for checkout now, Shrines of Gaiety. This is, oh yeah, we talked about this, is I think it takes place in an insane asylum, like undercover work. And then this one, which we got a hearty laugh at yesterday when we recorded this video, but didn't turn on any of the audio. So we laughed lots about this lovely new James Patterson book.
It's a shame.
It was a good episode.
Sorry you missed it.
This one is called The 12 Topsy-Turvy, Very Messy Days of Christmas. And it's funny because the description says, "Move over Dickens. America's favorite storyteller has written a gift to be shared in every family, a novel destined to become as treasured as A Christmas Carol," which I felt was just
America's favorite storyteller, according to who?
I don't know. It just felt like Dickens are big shoes to fill as far as A Christmas Carol goes.
And then this next thing.
Listening to the song, The 12 Days of Christmas is a beloved holiday tradition. Now comes a new one. Reading James Patterson's instant classic, The 12 Topsy-Turvy, Very Messy Days of Christmas. Yeah, it just felt very self-gratifying.
That's what I said. Who wrote this? Did he write that himself?
I can't imagine, but
what makes it so messy? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's family and unexpected guests fill their empty house, filling it with Christmas memories in the making, according to the jacket.
I was just reading.
Oh.
Sullivan House Christmas Comes Alive.
So if you like Christmas, if you are as intrigued as I am by the boldness of claiming to be as good as Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
I mean, it definitely doesn't sound like his typical
type of book.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. There's no murder.
Right.
There's no missing women.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, maybe. I know, is it Paul Richard Evans? Writes a bunch of Christmas books, like The Mistletoe Letter, and he has like a whole collection, Noel Street, and
I wonder if this is his first Christmas one.
I think it must be. I don't remember any of the other ones since I've been.
You need a Christmas sticker.
A sticker. Oh yeah,
on the side. True. Checking the cataloging.
But yes, so we laughed lots about that yesterday, and we now get to laugh again about how funny that is. Because wait, what did we say yesterday? Oh, because The Christmas Carol is my favorite ghost story because I am weak,
right?
Which segued into us talking about
The Devil in Ohio.
The Devil in Ohio.
If anyone has watched that on Netflix or not, maybe don't waste your time.
Yeah. Well, don't watch it expecting a horror show because it was not that.
Is what we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what the previews made it seem.
It wasn't really scary at all.
No. And there's like one jump scene, but that's mostly just I will jump. A leaf blew across my front porch when I stood outside of it the other night, and I like screamed a little.
That's because you thought it was Rummy.
I did.
Which is
my porch rat. Yes, my porch rat that now lives there. Whatever that means. So I stood outside of my house, like stamping my feet. I was like, all right, go do your thing. Just get off the porch. Because I was like, I will scream. So I'm sure the neighbors are thoroughly enjoying me standing in front of my house screaming every night. So.
And I said, like, I really liked the last like 15 seconds. I liked the way it ended because I was really thinking it was going to be like a really big letdown the way that it ends.
Yeah. But even for that, it just felt like a really long show for those 15 minutes.
It did seem like it dragged on. It could have been a movie,
like an hour and a half
instead of 8 episodes.
Yeah, we watched it over a whole week.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's fine. I ate a lot of Starburst and Skittles in that week. Let me tell you, I don't normally
snack. The given snack.
Yeah,
watching.
I don't snack usually too late, but I was nervous.
For nothing.
For no reason. Yes. Just anticipatory nervousness. That's how I roll.
So that's our pop culture segment.
Yeah, there we go.
Pop, pop, pop.
Oh,
whatever like the graphics bubbles. Gonna be. Yeah.
Or like the bang, like the comics.
Bang.
All right, and then we just have the events for this week, which tonight you have the last section of
black glue
art.
So we traced the lines last week, and it has now dried, and we are going to paint it with watercolors. I'm looking over that way because I have the table set up already. Not that you can see, but
it's
yes,
there.
We're doing watercolors. And then next week I have got coding without computers. So 2 board games, Robot Turtles and Code Masters. And it's teaching the concepts that can be learned before you even get to a computer, like the problem solving and learning about algorithms and loops and things like that.
Yeah, it's like just following instructions, like, and what do instructions mean?
Breaking them down very basically.
Which has come in handy. Like my son had to do like how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in school like last week or the week before. And like he was calling out the teacher, he's like, but nobody put the peanut butter away, which I think is like more like what I would say. Like, come on, you got to do the whole job. You got to put it away when you're done.
And funny that is also related to reading when they talk about decomposing the sounds of a word, or in math when you talk about decomposing a whole into 2 parts, like different ways to make 5, 1 and 4, 2 and 3. So that skill, travels across curriculum.
Yes, and the games are nice because we didn't have that type of stuff when I was in school, and we didn't use math manipulatives as much as I would have liked because I really needed the visuals.
Yeah.
So when I started homeschooling Stephen and we used math manipulatives to do things, I was like, oh wait, now I know how to multiply. Like, right, it took me 30 years to figure out how to multiply.
Yeah.
But that visual really helps.
And Robot Turtles was also the highest backed game on Kickstarter, is how it got its start. And what was the other game? Oh, Code Masters.
Yes.
They're by the same company, Think Fun.
I like Code Masters. Yeah. I like Think Fun in general.
Yes.
It's a good one. And what else do we have? Thursday is our writers workshop at 6:30. That's open to everyone. You can bring work if you like, or you can just listen, talk, and we just kind of workshop writing and writing techniques. And that's about it.
For that.
Yes, for that you have story time.
Story time at 1 o'clock. No, kindergarten readiness at 1 o'clock. Toddler story time at 10:30, which has
the ages for toddlers are
2s and 3s.
2s and 3s.
I would even like say you can try like 18 months. I mean, heck, if you want to bring your infant, it's just gonna lay there, really, but it's most appropriate for ages 2 and 3, and then kindergarten readiness is 4 and 5, because then we start working on the skills that are needed for kindergarten, like sitting crisscross applesauce, raising your hand, waiting to be called on. We go over the calendar, the days of the week, the months of the year, all of that.
So group setting kind of stuff, which is good to practice. And then on Monday we have our Friends of the Library meeting. We have a 12:30 meeting if you can come during the day, or we have a 6:30 meeting if you work during the day and you like to come at night. Open to everyone. Anyone is more than welcome to stop in. And I think that's it for events that we have. We do have the Sabatini's fundraiser. Books and Brews is October 11th. Tickets are available here at the library. If you need more information on that, you can go to our Facebook page. Our website has all that information. It's the 11th, starts at 6 o'clock. We have raffle tickets, 50/50s, live music, So it should be a good night. I will be there. So
3 drinks and all you can eat pizza.
all you can eat pizza and me. Focus on the important things.
Yay!
And that's all we have for today. This week.
Yay! Okay, bye.